absolutely.
I personally feel like an hour is pretty good, unless we really are on a roll. But,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's have some fun.
All right. How you feeling, Dad?
Feeling good, feeling good.
Ready to get started?
Yes, I've almost got my computer. I got to get the dial up. Can you turn the modem on?
Yeah. Right.
Okay, I am theoretically ready.
All right, let's do it.
All right, welcome to My Dad's Movie Podcast. I'm Mick Johnson. I am the dad. And with me, as usual, my son Tabor.
Hey, I'm here.
You've used that one already.
Let's come up with something
You
clever.
were supposed to be working on this.
Yes. I may not be a smart man, but I know what love is.
Yes.
I got nothing, man. I'm sorry.
All right, good enough. We'll stick with the first part then.
Yeah.
So with us tonight, we have a special guest. We have Emmanuel Vera.
Hello.
Emmanuel Christopher Michael Vera the Fourth.
That's true. I have a Catholic name.
I shortened it for the podcast. I didn't want to go over
Yeah,
an
we don't
hour.
want to do that to the listeners. But yeah. So I got nervous when he didn't have a quip. So I just want to say I'm ready, willing, and able.
There we go.
There you go. Yeah.
Nice. Now, do you need to move your mic up, or are you good?
Well, I think I'm good.
Because you
Is
can
it-
adjust it and raise it up also.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right.
So you're not hunching over, a little more comfortable.
This is so much better. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah, Emmanuel, you are kind of in the industry a little bit. I know you do some entertainment stuff, and I know you've done a little bit of acting. So tell us a little bit about you and what you've got going on, or what you've been in.
Well, I've been a creative person my entire life. So I've been in bands. I've been an artist. I've been like an illustrator and a painter and things like that. And then I was in a band for a long time with a guy who didn't want to be in it anymore because he had frontman syndrome, And so one night I decided to go to a comedy open mic, and this was almost 15 years ago, and it completely changed my life. I went in there thinking, "Oh, I've got this. I'm so funny," and I went up there and got my ass just absolutely handed to me because I was not funny, but it made me want to go back and try again. And then since then, I've met so many awesome people like Tabor, and a whole bunch of different creative types,
Right on.
So then, I was able to do some film projects with Tabor, and that's not really my main pursuit, but I just like doing creative stuff in general.
So what movie did you help Tabor on?
So he actually was not in one of mine.
Oh, okay.
He was in a movie that I was helping with.
Oh,
That's right.
And
Yeah.
Elizabeth Finley was asking for actors, and I said, "Oh, I got just the guy." And so so he played a Catholic priest who is the head of a Vampires Anonymous meeting.
Sure.
So he holds
like
meetings
support group, and
yeah, exactly.
I also had a flask in my pocket. It must have been a Catholic church.
Oh, he made it so fun.
So pretty true to the Catholic priest.
Yeah. And it was funny too because I had already had a Halloween costume that was a priest outfit, so I was like, "I got this."
You were set.
You really did call the right person.
Very nice.
And that was really fun. I had a great day working on that project because it was a short. Like the script wasn't very demanding of me, but I just got to sort of ad lib and throw in some jokes, and it worked out, and it was a lot of fun.
Nice.
But once again, it was mostly comedy that was the core that brought me into that kind of thing, But
Yeah.
So are you still doing comedy now?
yeah, I just got back from a couple of road gigs. We did some gigs in Eastern Idaho that were really fun. Spent the weekend out there with meeting some new people who are starting up some comedy out there, and they're very friendly and awesome, and we look forward to working with them again.
Very
They gave
nice.
us a really cool weekend and a hotel room, big bonus.
Nice.
They took us out to breakfast and stuff. They were very professional and cool. Made us feel like rock stars.
Yeah, breakfast in a hotel room. Yeah, that's all I really
No,
need.
we went to a restaurant, next to the hotel.
Yeah.
I did
Denny's
something,
Plus.
Yeah. I did something like that with Victor Pellegrino.
Yeah,
And that was-
Victor's a good guy.
Yeah, it was so funny. We were driving up there. Yeah, we were driving to was it Bend, Oregon, I think. And he goes, in his Victor voice, he goes, "What would you do if I just grabbed your steering wheel and just drove us into this ravine?" And I was like,
You're sitting in the back now.
I was like, let's not do that. And then we did a show at an Eagles club, and I absolutely bombed.
Oh, no.
And on the way back, I was like, okay, Victor, you can drive us into the ravine now if you want.
He's like, but now I have something to live for.
Yeah, exactly.
Tabor did worse than me.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. I haven't done stand-up since COVID.
Yeah, I was actually mentioning that we were doing this show to Moondeck. I was on the road with him, and he was telling me, like, tell him to come back. So I'm supposed to tell you. You better come back at some point, even if it's just for fun.
I've been writing again. I started writing. I threw out all my old material, starting from scratch, just like brand new, like I've never done stand-up before.
Nice. Hey, sometimes a clean slate is the best way to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just I was doing those Zoom shows, and they were horrible.
Oh, yeah. Well, Zoom's not fun.
No.
Like, at all.
Yeah. We would just have
that's what we're on right now.
Yeah, but this is fine. This is perfectly fine because I don't need people to I don't need people to laugh at me.
Sure.
To tell me that I'm doing okay, because I know that I'm not doing okay on this podcast, but I needed to know that I was doing okay in comedy.
Right.
And,
You need some feedback.
and I wasn't getting it.
Well, tell you what, we can't really talk about too many details right now, but there are some new comedy shows in the works in Nampa, and that's pretty close to here. So
Yeah.
we'll let you know. And if you're feeling some new jokes, come try them out.
Yeah, I think that's why I stopped going so much, is because Crescent dried up. And
Yeah, it's kind of hard to go all the way to Boise just for an open mic.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
because if it doesn't go well, you're like, fuck this, you know.
Yeah, I drove all the way out there and, had a bad set. But, I've come to terms with bad sets. They teach me stuff.
You got to pay your dues.
Yeah.
You got to do the blood sacrifice. It's like
Right.
if you're not bleeding on stage, you're not going to finally get that one show. At least from my experience, you got to have like 8 crappy shows, and then you get this magical show that makes you feel, like $1 million.
Absolutely.
And it's just the comedy gods are fickle. You got to pay your dues before they're good to you.
Absolutely.
So, who are we talking about tonight? What are we doing?
We are talking about the incredible Ridley Scott. We have actually talked about Tony Scott on the show already,
Yeah.
but we have not talked about Ridley yet. So it's kind of cool.
Oh, nice.
We're now talking about
They're
the
brothers.
They are brothers.
Nice.
That is correct.
We're rest
Well,
in peace, Tony.
Yeah, I know. Poor guy.
Yeah.
So Ridley Scott, and we are gonna tackle a really cool movie, Alien.
Yeah,
The OG Xenomorph.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm going to open up my beer.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, don't drink that too fast now.
Now I have it on video. They can see that it is not beer.
I think that's the joke, right?
Oh yeah, he always has to clarify afterwards. But yeah, I think this is the first time I've opened one up on video. I think we've only done audio.
Right,
Well,
right.
then look at them and say,
Hey,
Crush, we're working on a
Sponsored.
sponsorship.
An
Yeah.
ad.
Or at
Yeah.
least a cease and desist.
both of them work. Hey,
No press is bad press.
we are the #1 podcast that's been turned down by Patton Oswalt. So
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Yeah,
we got
yeah.
that going for us.
You should make a patch.
Yeah, exactly. So, when was the first time you saw Alien?
When I was a kid. So when I was growing up, I had 2 sisters, and my mom was a single mom. And so there was this one summer where she was going to summer classes at BSU, working on a degree, and we were just left at home. So she got HBO as a
There you go.
babysitter.
Oh,
You
nice.
know, I ended up getting exposed to a whole bunch of different horror movies, but at that time it was Aliens that was big on HBO. And so
That was my first one.
yeah, and it was a good one. Well, my first one was actually Alien 3.
Really?
But, yeah. So I actually didn't see Aliens too much when it was on HBO. I just saw the commercial a lot because it was
Yeah.
always at nighttime when I was supposed to be in bed.
Yeah.
But, I'd gotten away with seeing, like, Child's Play, and that didn't scare me very much because I'm like, why don't they just kick Chucky in the face?
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just a doll.
Yeah.
And then, like, things like Freddy, they're so out there that, like, I wasn't that scared, but... yeah, my mom knew I liked horror movies, and so she actually took me to see Alien 3 in the theaters.
Ooh,
And,
that's so cool.
yeah, and I was like 8, and I didn't know anything about Alien or the sequel. And so that movie scared the crap out of me.
Really?
Because as imaginative as the Xenomorph is, it was so much more believable as a horror, like as a scary monster, 'cause-
Than a doll.
yeah, and it's just like the way it comes out of the shadows and grabs you from the ceiling,
Yeah.
But the part that scared me the most was when Ripley's character, Ripley, the character, when she You know when she revives Bishop for a minute?
Yeah.
To have him run the flight recorder.
And he's all messed up.
Yeah, so I didn't know he was a synth. I thought she had revived this corpse, And as a kid, I was like really disturbed by that, and so I went home and was just messed up by this movie.
That's
but like
awesome.
the scar healed a little, and I started drawing Xenomorphs like crazy. And then the toy line came out because the popularity of Alien 3 was so up there that Kenner Toys made a whole toy line of aliens, Marines, and they eventually started doing Predator toys too.
Yep, I had one.
Oh, nice. I had them all.
I had this like glow in the dark Predator. He had like the
Yeah.
Xenomorph on his chest.
Yep.
Yeah.
What was his name? The Night Stalker Predator.
Yeah.
I think I still have all the toys in a box somewhere.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I kept them all these years. But so then my mom was like, "Oh, so he's obsessed with these." And so then that later Christmas, I got the trilogy box set.
Ooh.
And
Oh,
so,
nice.
yeah, so then I was able to watch all three of them at my leisure. The fourth one hadn't come out yet. That was still several years down the line. But yeah, so the first time I finally got the first one, I actually ended up watching them in reverse. So I started with 3, then
Because it
I
was
watched
the one-
Aliens,
yeah.
and I was like, oh, now I get why part 3 started that way.
Right.
And then I finally landed on 1 and was like, let's see how this all began. But
Yeah.
ultimately, I felt like that was probably the darkest of all of them. It was a true horror film in space, you
Yeah.
know. Because then you get to the
You're talking
sequels.
about the first one?
Yeah, the original Alien film. It's because the sequel is more of an action movie. It's got a lot of horror elements, but that's James Cameron doing Terminator in space.
Yeah,
like-
exactly.
And then the third one it's pretty dark, but it's more of a survival situation.
Yeah.
It's not
And-
really a horror movie.
And you know what's really funny is that like even though it's David Fincher's first movie, it feels like a Fincher movie, doesn't it?
Right away, yeah,
Yeah.
like absolutely. It's got all that dark overtones that even 7 has.
Yeah.
like,
It's got the sickly greens that you see in all of his movies and
yeah,
stuff like
especially
that.
Fight Club.
Yeah. So,
But yeah, I was absolutely in love with the first one. The first chest busting scene, it's like,
Yeah.
that is horrific.
Yeah.
And I was like 9, and I was like, turn this off for a little while.
gotta-
Go outside and get some sun.
gotta pace yourself, yeah.
Ridley messed me up, man.
you know,
But yeah, like sometimes when I'm getting to know someone, and it's someone who really likes films, I'll just tell them, hey, 25% of my personality is due to the Alien franchise.
Yeah.
Like I was raised by those films.
Right.
I think that's kind of how we started communicating with each other, and we just started talking about Alien. And
That is one of the foundational points of our friendship.
Yeah,
we
I
were
was just
sitting
like-
there talking about, I think you had an Aliens shirt on, and I was like, dope shirt, and you're
Yeah.
like, you like aliens? And I was
yeah,
like, "High five."
I love it. Yeah, it's so fun. And I think I even talked to you about doing Alien the musical when I was working on
we
that
were
project.
talking about that. I read
Yeah.
some of what you're working on. Yeah,
Yeah, I still want to do that. I think it'd be a blast.
it would be a great if it had a good production behind it. It would be
Yeah,
amazing.
absolutely.
So talk about for a minute Sir Ridley Scott
Okay.
as a director and what you guys kind of see in his movies. What's his style?
So, Alien, to me, kind of seems like the odd man out when it comes to Ridley Scott's style. It kind of feels like
It depends. I'm sorry. Finish your thought.
no. I was just going to say that it feels like he made this incredible movie, but it didn't feel like a Ridley Scott movie. And as he started to develop and become, a more established director, that kind of started.
Yeah, because that was his first major motion picture, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Mhm.
Yeah. So that was kind of like his starting point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then he went on to do Blade Runner, which was like a clean version of Aliens. It was like it still had all the creepy lighting, but there wasn't like
Yeah.
pus everywhere. you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
But I think with him, because he's done some really extreme fantasy movies and some really gritty, realistic movies like Gladiator.
I still have not seen Gladiator yet.
Well, it's like 25, 30 years old.
I know,
You're
that's-
way behind.
that's
There's a
on me.
sequel now, and it's
Yeah.
also pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah, it's produced. It might even be directed. I forgot, but the sequel was pretty good. But it wasn't as good as the first one. But anyway,
Okay.
what I was saying is, he's always got this dark, gritty realism, no matter whether it's a fantasy or like Black Hawk Down. Like he's got this gritty style that you can just tell it's him, kind of like a Guy Ritchie film. You know, like when you look at a Guy Ritchie film, he's got that flash, and you're just like, oh, this is definitely a Ritchie film. But
No, I mean, Tony Scott is the exact opposite.
Right.
All of his stuff is big
crisp
and
clean
bombastic.
and,
yeah.
with crazy bright lights.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
yeah, and Ridley likes to mess with like more of a noir style. Like he's always
Darkness,
got really
shadows.
big contrast in his lighting, and he always seems to really like the the non-steady cam stuff, you know, and you can just tell it's him. And I love how you can tell it's him, whether it's, like I said, Black Hawk Down or what was the fantasy one with Tom Cruise?
Oh, I know it. You know it too,
Hey.
don't you? It's Legend.
Legend, yes. I
Yeah.
can't believe that slipped my mind.
Yeah.
That's his fourth movie, and that's probably the most fantastical movie he's made in quite a while.
And
And it still has that dark, gritty noir kind of thing going on. And
it's absolutely crazy that it's such a range. He did a horror movie. He's done Gladiator, fantasy movie. I mean, it's not. You have some guys who kind of find their lane and they stay in that lane.
right.
What's his name? Wes Craven always did
Right.
horror
Slashers for
movies.
days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he tried to branch out. He tried to do like a romantic comedy, and apparently just it was not.
Nobody
landing.
died, and they're like, this
Yeah.
is Wes Craven.
But
yeah.
Ridley Scott seemed to be able to break out from horror and
Yeah,
do
I
all
feel
sorts
like
of.
he's always been able to find really dedicated production teams that know exactly what he wants. Because a good movie is obviously a big group effort, but it feels like with his movie, he seems like a really good leader. Like a really good, like, this is my vision. This is how it's going to go.
It also
Yeah.
seems like he has really good set designers.
Oh,
Whatever he's
yeah.
got going on. I mean, the design of the sets are just incredible. Super detailed. Looking at just watching Alien and the ship, the outside of the ship, the inside of the ship, everything.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just
H.R. Giger's finest work.
We can't talk about Alien without talking
bring
about.
up H.R. Giger.
Yeah.
yeah.
I watched a playthrough of a video game that was based off of his artwork. It was like this old 1990s video game. It was like a side-scrolling point-and-click game, and it was bizarre.
You
it was
remember the title?
No, I'd probably post it in the comments of this video, but it was weird.
Probably know the game was ringing a bell somewhere in the back of my head.
Yeah,
but-
it's like it's alternate. It's like a parallel universe where he's like on Earth and then like goes through this mirror and then goes into the H.R. Giger world and goes back and forth and stuff.
I don't think I ever played that, but there was a lot of Aliens video games though.
No
like his
kidding.
artwork is everywhere. Like, but yeah, when you watch the making of that first Alien film, like all of those structures are life size. I mean,
Yeah.
that guy was in there working day and night, just making
Yeah.
these massive sculptures.
Yeah, and speaking of life size and stuff like that, when they make the space jockey. In that scene where all the astronauts are walking around the space jockey, those are Ridley Scott's children.
Oh, really? Because they need him to be smaller.
Yeah, they made
That's
a
a fun
did?
fact I did
yes,
not know.
They made a half scale version of that because it was cheaper, and then they just had his children walk around in spacesuits for that scene. You can't see any of the actors' faces.
that's true. You can't. So
Yeah,
Wow, I can't wait to do a rewatch.
yeah. But yeah, so it's really cool. Yeah, but production design and set design are a very, very huge part of filmmaking, and I don't have a set designer. I don't have a production designer, and I wish I did. I wish I had a partner in that department that I could be like, oh, this is perfect. I'm bringing you on all of my movies, because I think other than sometimes my sound in my movies, which can kind of suffer depending on whether my little brother's in town or not.
Yeah.
If he's in town, my sound is perfect.
Right, because he knows what you want.
Yeah, exactly. If he's not in town, I have to do it myself, and then it kind of slips. But my other weakness in my movies is production design. I desperately need a production
Well,
designer.
it's a whole separate department. It's if you want a good set design, it takes a team.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, you just keep at it, little buddy. You'll meet that person.
I know I will.
Maybe
will.
you'll meet him downtown when you're doing a comedy show.
Yeah,
You'll
no
talk to
kidding.
the right person.
Yeah. The Boise scene's growing, which is really nice. Everything, comedy, music. It's a nice little area now.
Yeah. I was born and raised in Boise. It's a lot more lively than it used to be.
Yeah.
When it comes to local artists doing crazy, cool stuff.
Yeah. And when it comes
We
to
used to get shoot off the street corners, and now we're supported.
yeah, and when it comes to filmmaking, it's been democratized. It's so much easier to get a camera. I mean, everyone has a phone in their pocket.
Right.
You can make a movie just with your phone. I mean, they made 28 Days Later not 28 days, 28 years later on iPhones.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That movie looked pretty sharp.
Yeah.
I made my debut movie.
Yeah.
I'm so scared.
I'm so scared.
On my iPhone.
we should post that on the My Dad's Movie
I'm
podcast.
not sure I have it anymore.
Oh, really?
I may have gotten rid of it.
Oh,
yeah.
bummer. I love that little thing. It's so great. But yeah, production design, it's an unsung hero. I mean, it's one of those things where you don't realize how big of a part it plays in the movie until it's gone.
Right. You're looking through your lens and you're like, that looks like crap.
Yeah.
Or that looks amazing.
I've
Like,
run into something like that with the dinosaur this year.
Yeah.
It's called white wall syndrome, where you're shooting in a room with white walls and there's nothing on them, and it's just like, ooh, like
Yeah.
you feel it bad.
Can we at least get a blood splatter back there?
Yeah, I know. Seriously. But yeah, so H.R. Giger lended a lot to Alien, and it's incredible looking. All the walls, like when they're walking through, and like all of the hallways and the tunnels they look like the Alien.
Yeah,
It's-
they're all rib cages and
Yeah.
The way it's all designed.
biomechanical and
The other thing I thought was kind of cool that I didn't remember is it seems like there's like all the walls are just padded. Like everywhere there's padding.
You talking about
like on the Nostromo.
Yeah.
Yeah. The design of that ship was also incredibly well thought out. The way that was the complete opposite of the Hive. Everything is super white and soft and padded.
Right.
You know, they go in that big mother computer room and it looks like a cathedral with all the little
Oh,
glowing
man.
lights. And
You know what's so funny is that it's supposed to be the future, right? I think it's 2100,
yeah, it's
but it
quite-
still feels so 70s.
Yeah, it's still 1979, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, it's-
all the little bogus like consoles and the blinking lights.
And all the lights and
Yeah, you can tell.
every decade has a different idea of what the future looks like, and it looks like that decade. Like,
Right.
Yeah,
the
that's
80s.
the 70s, or late 70s idea, like the cover of an old sci-fi novel. You know, like
Yeah. Did you see Alien Romulus yet?
yeah, loved it.
Yeah,
I thought it
it's
was
fun.
a really good throwback to what made the original 3 so
Yeah,
good.
absolutely.
you know?
And I thought that the set design for that was ripped right out of Alien.
Oh yeah,
perfect.
I feel like they very much tried to stay true to the original.
They were very
film.
meticulous and made sure that everything looked exactly like it was supposed to.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I forget the director's name, but
Fede Alvarez.
yeah, but his specialty is really just serving fans what they want. Did you watch his Evil Dead remake?
Oh, so good.
It was perfect. It was everything it needed to be for the fans. It wasn't
Yeah.
anything new or fancy. It was like, here's your zombies ripping faces off. Are you happy? And
This
the fans
is
were like,
what we
yay,
want.
we are happy.
It's really
He
funny.
did the same thing with Romulus. You know, it's like
Yeah.
you want some really intense action and some scary space stuff. You know, like that sequence with like a dozen facehuggers come running around the corner.
Yeah.
It's like they're little, but they're instant death. You know,
Yeah.
that scene was terrifying.
Oh my gosh, that's the most terrifying that the facehuggers have ever been.
Yeah, they were. They made that whole sequence. They made them absolutely horrifying.
Yeah. The day I saw Evil Dead 2013 was the day I started stand up. Same
Oh,
day.
really? Nice.
Same day. Yeah. So
That's a good way to remember it.
yeah, exactly.
For me, it was just August 22nd. It was Tuesday.
Yes, I know that line. I know that line. Yeah. So, anything else you want to say about Ridley Scott Dead before we get into the meat and potatoes?
Well, I had forgotten that we had already talked about his brothers, so we've already talked about the parents.
Let's talk about him again.
I'm assuming the parents are the same.
I would. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they were half brothers.
Yeah.
Mother Elizabeth, father Francis. I didn't remember this. The father was a senior officer in the Royal Engineers. Must be the service,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, they must be like the bridge designers and the,
Something. Yeah.
the
Right.
logistics guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot about that. I also didn't read that he started out with a Super 8 film camera like every other director we've ever talked about.
You said he didn't start off with one?
Yeah, I didn't read any place where he was like gifted a camera or got a camera, and that's how he started out.
You know, what's really funny is that half of the guys we talk about they had Super 8 cameras, and that's what they've always wanted to do, is that they wanted to make movies. And then the other half, you know, they went to school for like Russian dance or something just like way out there, and then they discovered filmmaking.
Right. Yeah. Now he was interested in movies young. One of the things he talked about was he got interested in science fiction from reading H.G. Wells.
Nice.
And that's kind of what sparked this, you know, this whole idea of, you know, space and fantasy and those types of things with him. And then some of the movies I think that influenced him, I had written down here somewhere. Influenced by The Terror from Beyond Space, The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Oh, yeah. That's a classic.
Let's see. Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey was the one that he talks about the most as being his biggest influence.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so funny is that I didn't realize there was a big enough gap between them. I kind of figured them as contemporaries.
Working together.
But I guess not. I guess there is kind of a little bit of a headroom from Kubrick. 'Cause I guess Kubrick was starting in the 50s. He has a couple black and white films and
Right.
Oh, I didn't know we were that.
Yeah. He did whatchamacallit, Spartacus. Did you see that one?
Oh, yeah. That's a classic.
Oh,
yeah,
it's a
we
good
watched
one.
that in school.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah. And he hates it because it's his least Kubrick film.
Yeah, it is. That's why it surprises me the most, I guess.
Yeah.
That's just a regular movie.
Yeah, I know.
Now, if they would have set it in space,
Yeah.
okay.
Where's all that crazy like lava lighting?
Yeah.
you know?
Where's Jack Nicholson running around with an axe?
Right.
So,
Wow.
Yeah, so let's talk about Alien.
okay.
All right.
Yeah. So, movies in space.
Yep.
So the tagline for the movie is "In space, no one can hear you scream,"
Yep.
That's right.
which is such a cool freaking tagline.
Yeah.
And my little brother bought me a T-shirt. I don't know where he found it, but it's the Alien poster. It's got the egg on it. Instead of Alien, it says Alan. And then underneath it says, "In space, no one can hear you in space." And it was one of my favorite shirts. I
Now
freaking
that's nerdy humor right there.
Yeah, I love that
is
shirt.
finest.
But this movie it's so cool because it's just about space truckers.
It's a slasher film in space.
Yeah.
You know, Halloween came out the same year, didn't it? 1979.
I think it came out 78, the year before.
Yeah, okay. So Halloween had raised this whole idea of a slasher film.
Yeah.
And I recall that Ridley Scott was into the idea of creating a space movie that wasn't just sci-fi, just horror. And I remember this one interview. I had this DVD that had this epic making of the first Alien movie. It's got some really good interviews with Ridley Scott, but he was saying he loved that idea of the theater of the mind. That, you know, how you don't really see the alien all that much, but your brain, as it grows, you know, your brain makes it get bigger and bigger. And you're like, what kind of monster am I really looking at? You know, and I think he pulled that off really well. Like his style, the way he was inspired by the thing and delivered it in his film was so clean and cut. You know, like
it's an incredible design. It's a scary monster. They don't show too much of it.
Yeah, and when they do, it's always crazy angles and dark lighting. And
Well, and that's some of the things that he talked about. Is he specifically did not want the alien shot straight on.
Yeah.
He always wanted some sort of angle on it. And I guess initially he wanted animatronic, but they decided to go. They found who was the actor?
I'm looking him up right now.
Yeah, that 7 foot tall.
Because it's a name. Yeah.
Balaji Badejo.
Yeah, he was this African tribes guy,
Right.
like tribalman. He's like 7 feet tall, but he weighed like 90 pounds.
And I think they found him in a bar. He was a graphic designer, and they looked at him, and because his arms were kind of long and super skinny, That's what they liked about him.
Yeah.
And I think they instantly thought, okay, there's our alien.
Right, and you get all these shots when they do show the alien. He does always have his arms like
Yeah,
real
and like
crazy,
it's so fluid, and you don't understand how much of an actor you have to be when you're a monster in a suit. Because what was his name? Kevin Peter Hall,
the Predator,
who played the Predator. He did the same thing. He made this character.
Yeah, every movement was purposeful and designed.
It's not like Michael Myers. Michael Myers was the
doesn't
opposite.
move. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's creepy how he doesn't move.
Yeah, it was just like, but it worked for that movie.
Yeah.
It wouldn't work for everything else.
No, especially not the alien.
Yeah, it was literally just John Carpenter saying, "Hey, move here, move there," and he just did it, and it looked scary somehow.
It was the William Shatner mask.
Yeah,
It's terrifying.
Yes, the William Shatner mask. That's right.
yeah. Did you know another option was a Spock mask that they didn't end up using?
Oh, really?
So someone posted like some concept art of what it would have looked like if they used the Spock mask, and it's still pretty creepy.
Probably a little more silly, but
Yeah, a little more silly, but it's
It's Leonard Nimoy with a white face.
yeah, exactly.
that would be pretty creepy. Yeah.
Yeah, but that alien actor, awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of good back behind the scenes footage that shows them doing movement tests, and he's got like a mock sort of head on, and he's like creeping around the set, and they're just practicing shooting. And I'm like, what a fun day at work that must have been.
Yeah. And he never did anything since.
Really, that was his only thing.
That was
he
his
ever
only
I think that
thing?
was the only thing he ever did.
did? Wow.
Yeah.
He liked just being a graphic designer.
And I can't remember. So he has passed away. That gentleman has passed away. In fact, going through here, everybody but Tom Skerritt, Sigourney Weaver, and Veronica Cartwright. I think those are the only three.
Tom Skerritt's still alive?
He is.
No way! I thought he passed away.
I looked him up just a couple days ago.
Really? That's
didn't show-
awesome.
It didn't show
Still
that he
kicking.
had died.
Yeah, I don't know if he's still working, but he was recently doing voice stuff for
Really?
some
Yeah.
cartoons. You'll hear his voice in some cartoons every once in a while.
Because-
Such a distinct voice.
I pulled up into the driveway and I was watching some videos on Alien, and I was just sitting there thinking, I was like, oh man, Ripley and Lambert are the only ones who are still alive. But
Oh yeah,
I'm wrong. Tom Skerritt's still alive. That's cool.
yeah.
We lost Yaphet Kotto, who played Parker. We lost him really early. I think 90s.
Yeah, he was only in a couple other movies.
Yeah.
He was in Running Man.
He was great in Running
Yeah,
Man.
that
Yeah.
was 87. But yeah, I haven't seen him in anything else.
He was a villain in a James Bond movie.
Nice.
Yeah. Can't remember which one. I've never seen a single James Bond movie in my life, so.
I've only seen Moonraker, and it was all right.
Yeah?
I would maybe watch it again if I was equally as bored as the first time I watched it.
Yeah?
There's a laser battle at the end that is ridiculously entertaining because it's the 60s. So, at this point, the special effects are pretty laughable.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
it's still pretty cool.
Is it sharks with laser beams on their heads?
No, it's
that would
a
be
bunch
cool.
of little space guys with lasers, and you can
cool.
see all the little, I don't know, it's ridiculous, but it's also pretty worth watching, I guess.
Speaking of special effects, I was watching. So my new thing lately is I've been watching reaction videos of people watching movies. Because before I used to invite friends over to my house and show them movies that I love. And I'd be like, dude, you got to watch this movie. And the joy was watching somebody who hasn't seen Alien see Alien for the first time. And I loved, and now I don't have friends anymore. So, so now I started watching reaction videos, and I'm watching these people on YouTube watch these movies for the first time, and I get that joy.
Right.
It feels like I'm sharing, like I invited this person over. And one of the girls I was watching react to it, she was just making fun of the special effects of Alien, and I was just like, you got to give it a pass. I mean, first of all, these things look great, regardless of age.
Yeah.
But it's like in the Olympics, you have Usain Bolt, and then you have him run against Grandma Jones.
Sure.
And then you're just like,
She still does pretty good, but
but I'm just like,
We're all rooting for her.
yeah, yeah. But then you start giving Grandma Jones crap because she can't beat Usain Bolt. And it's just like, well, you have to take into consideration she's older. She's.
and then you have to take into consideration who can beat him.
Yeah, exactly. And so, of course, none of the special effects are going to age as. I mean, actually, I would argue that some of them look better than what we have now.
Yeah,
because
I mean,
CGI
nothing ruins a movie more than CGI.
I know.
And even relatively weak sauce practical effects, if properly lit, are going to look better, in my opinion. That original Chestburster scene horrified audiences. People threw up.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, and I think it still looks amazing.
It does.
you know?
Absolutely.
And then in later, like, you got the AVP movies that come out, and they've got CGI Chestbursters, and it looks all right. There's still some gore there, but it doesn't have that same effect as punching an actual creature through an actual chest and spraying actual blood all over the actors.
Something about practical effect. I mean, you look at The Thing. Those effects have aged wonderfully. That movie still looks...
There are kids where you have to explain to them that's not CGI. People used to make things.
I know.
You know? And they're like, they just don't believe it. You know, but yeah, those effects are still just top notch. You know,
Yeah.
that was Stan Winston, wasn't it?
I don't think so. I think Stan Winston came on for Aliens.
Oh,
I'd have to look it up.
Yeah. Also, those reactions that you get from the actors a lot of times, you get genuine reactions, like the blood coming out of the chest, right?
Yeah.
They didn't know. They kind of knew the scene, but they didn't know what it was going to entail exactly and how much blood was going to come and spray all over them. Yeah. So that reaction was kind of real.
Oh, you can see it in Tom Skerritt's face. It's great. Just that the pure shock on his face is so great.
Yeah, that first bust when all that blood shoots out. Yeah, they're like, oh, that's a genuine reaction, definitely. I mean, even if you know it's coming, if you get some of that in your eye, you're like,
yeah, no
it
kidding.
still works, you know.
Carlo Rambaldi is the special effects
for the original,
who worked hand in hand with H.R. Giger, so they worked together on the.
Wow, what was that like after hours when they went to the bar, you know, after working all day? What did they talk about?
Probably the guy sitting next to them, because they're going to put him in an alien suit.
Right. Yeah, that's probably how they met
same
him.
bar.
Hey, what are you drawing over there? Hey, you're skinny.
Try my friend.
Try this suit on.
Yeah.
I want to put this big head on you. Perfect.
Yeah. Something I wanted to talk about for this watch through is I noticed. I mean, I've noticed him before. I've seen the movie a million times, and he's always there, and I see him. But Jones the cat.
Jones the cat.
I was thinking about, why is Jones the cat in this movie, and I said, I know why Space Truckers would have brought him on.
Pest control, right?
Probably. I mean, that probably
Space
helps.
Roaches.
Space Roaches. There's a movie no one's done. Space Roaches.
Oh, we better copyright that right away.
I know. Seriously. So many good ideas come out on this podcast that I'm like, I better write these things down.
We've
Where
got
are the minutes? Do we have the minutes from last week's episode?
We have so many band names that we've come up with.
I know. Yeah, so many good band names. But I was just like, I know why a trucker. I mean, truckers have their dogs with them. You see all these
companionship.
Yeah, exactly. So I know why they would have a cat, but I was like, why did Ridley Scott put the cat in this movie? And I was just like, racking my brain. I was like, it has to be a reason. It could not be just because
there was a cat and it was cute.
Yeah, it's not like The Godfather. But so I looked it up, and it turns out that it was to offer a sense of uncertainty when things started going bump in the night.
Right, you're like, is it
the cat? Is it the cat?
Yeah.
Or is it,
the monster?
Is it the monster? It can. I mean, because if without the cat, the sound that you're hearing is definitely the monster.
Right. So you got to be. And then there's even the scene where they're like, "Hey, there's the cat." Like,
Yeah, and it leads to Brett's death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jonesy.
I know, that's such a cool scene.
Don't let the cat go.
So
yeah, that's the first time you see the alien full grown.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great scene.
When you watched it last, did you watch the director's cut or did you watch the theatrical cut?
Last time I watched it, I believe it was the director's cut. We watched it. It was whatever was streaming on Hulu, but I believe they had uploaded the director's cut, the one with the extra scene where you see Dallas all. Yeah. That's the director's cut.
I think that's the only thing from the director's cut I don't like, is that scene.
Yeah. I totally understand why they chose to cut it out for the final version, because it explains too much. You know?
Yeah. And I think it's like a retroactive thing. I think if I had seen that the first time I saw Alien, I'd be like, okay, that's how they make more eggs. But I saw Aliens first.
Right.
And I know that it comes from a queen. So seeing, them turning into eggs because I saw Aliens second, I was like, that's not how it's done.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
that's not it.
Yeah, I think at the time they didn't realize it was going to be a franchise. That's
Yeah.
not how movies were made back then.
No.
So I think they were just like, we'll do this and we'll create a little mystery, but not really explain it. But yeah, as someone who knows how it comes, it does totally differ from the rest of the script. It's just like this bump in the road that doesn't really make any sense. Yeah. And then have you ever read the script, the original draft of the script where the Xenomorph speaks?
What? Yes.
Yeah.
I know about that ending, but I never read the script.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it. But yeah, the Xenomorph, the original script speaks and mimics Sigourney Weaver's voice.
Yeah. That's kind of cool. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool idea, but I think it was such a better idea to keep it this silent killer.
Right.
It's just is this machine, Yeah.
Yeah. So
back to the cat for just a second.
Yeah.
The reaction of the cat hissing, they used a dog to pull that out of the cat.
I heard that. So they had the cat in front of a pane of glass, and then they had the glass shielded. Then they would pull the thing up.
And is there a big old Rottweiler?
There's a dog back there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Back before PETA got their hands on everything. We used to kill real snakes.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah, when they chopped that real snake up.
Oh, gosh.
It's like, why'd you do that?
Just like, hey, it'd be really cool is if we actually cut up the snake in the scene, and then the snake wrangler is just sitting in the back, just bawling his eyes out because they killed his pet snake.
Billy!
Exactly. How horrible would that be?
Well, that's a shitty snake wrangler. I would have been like, no.
Yeah.
I will kick your ass.
Yeah, don't kill my
I will
snake.
take that machete and use it on you.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's not really my business, but tell you what, I disapprove.
Yeah. Yeah. So, let's see, what else was I going to talk about for Alien? I wanted to talk about Ash. And
The evil synth. Yeah.
I've watched Alien quite a few times, and every time I watch it, I'm just like, man, that android thing really comes out of nowhere, doesn't it?
Yeah, kind of.
Like,
I mean, something's up with him the whole time.
You know that he's a bad guy. Like, they're setting up hints.
Yeah, but you never think that he's a synthetic human.
Never once. And so I wanted your guys' opinion on that. Do you think that is unearned? Like, wait a minute, now all of a sudden this guy's a robot? Or do you think that just the sheer shock of it works for you and it doesn't pull you out of it?
I liked it a lot. I mean, as a kid, when I was watching it, I mean, that scene when you find out that he's an android is pretty intense.
When they knock his head off.
Yeah, they have that scuffle and they knock his head off, and then the body keeps moving. And I feel like that was kind of an homage to other horror movies, and I thought it really worked, I thought first off, it was awesome that the bad guy wasn't even a human, and it wasn't even the Xenomorph. It was this guy who was following orders. Now we have to go get these eggs because Boss Man says so.
Right.
And it's like all you needed was a human in his position, and that movie probably wouldn't have happened. The human would have been like, "No, I care about my crew."
No kidding. Right. No kidding. Or even if he didn't care about his crew and he cared about what the company wanted, at some point he would have been like, well, I care about my life.
Right. I care about survival.
Yeah. He at that point, screw the company. I don't care anymore. I'm going to protect at least myself.
At least myself. Yeah.
But for Ash, he didn't care. That thing could have torn him to pieces, but as long as he, gets
mission accomplished,
gets that ship on autopilot, or not even on autopilot, they could let it drift in space and they can come collect it later.
Yeah. Well, like that original ending I was talking about where the alien speaks, he's actually navigating back to Earth and says, "Oh, this is Ripley. I need my security clearance." And so this alien it was supposed to end with this alien going to Earth to cause an infection. But
man, what a strange alternate life path that franchise would have had.
Totally nuts. Yeah. I'm glad they kept it more simplistic because the other sequels are pretty good.
There are so two things. One, I agree with you about Ash being a robot thing. I like that. The very first time I ever saw it, back a long time ago, it was really cool that they knocked his head off, and that's what it was. So it was kind of shocking, almost.
Yeah, you're stuck in this really dark movie with this very specific villain, and then out of nowhere, you're like, what the hell is going on over here?
Yeah.
And yeah, just the way they shot the scene, the way that they chose to use that white goo instead of some kind of a blood-looking thing.
I am so glad it wasn't blue.
Yeah, you hate aliens with
I
blue
don't
blood.
like it. What's the show?
The World's End.
Yes.
I got to be careful because I said it wrong before, and we got flagged
Have
for
you
it.
seen
the Simon Pegg movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
The World's
Yeah.
End? Yeah. The robots have blue and their arms pop off really easily. And
Yeah, I mean, they're
That just
pretty
pissed me off.
slapstick. I mean, the movie's supposed to be a little slapstick. But
Yeah.
British humor is like that. Yeah, it was a good one. But
Yeah.
I thought making it white was good because you could get away with a lot more of a horror element without pushing the rating any further, And it's like, oh, he's a synth, so we can rip his head off. You
Right,
know?
no kidding.
Like,
That's like Sam Raimi changing the color of blood.
yeah.
so
Oh, it's
that-
green, so now we could
do whatever
eviscerate
we
this
want.
character.
Yeah, exactly.
And the rating board won't care, as long as it's not red.
Yeah.
But
And they used did they use pasta and milk for Ash, or was that for Bishop in the second one?
I'm
know-
not sure.
I know Lance Henriksen got sick.
Because of all the spoiled milk. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of milk. But
Yeah.
I didn't know. I don't know what they used in the first one. But
Yeah.
I just always loved that element where the non-human is actually the true villain. And
Yeah.
it's not this monster. The monster is just doing what it does.
Yeah, it's just a force of nature. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like running into a bear.
Yeah, it's
the
either
bear's
gonna
gonna
attack
kill you.
or it's gonna be like, I'm a peaceful bear. I don't know. Never mind. I've just met too many peaceful bears. It's like, I'm an advocate for peaceful bears. They're out there, guys.
Peaceful bears.
Yeah. I don't know.
they're the sponsor.
I ran into a little brown bear once, and I spooked him pretty good, and he went running away.
Oh.
I was like, I felt bad. I was like, poor little fella. But,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, if you run into a tiger and it's cornered, it's going to kill you.
Yeah.
Number one. And you can't blame the tiger. So this Xenomorph is up there. It doesn't even know why. It used to be in an egg ship.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I better eat. That's all it's doing.
Yeah.
So this is kind of interesting. Now that you just said the egg ship, where do you think that ship was headed before it crashed?
I think we get answers for it in Prometheus.
Yeah,
Oh,
I do
okay.
believe they clarify that in Prometheus. I forget where that one specifically was headed, but they were all locked and loaded and sent out. There was multiple ships.
So they were going to go out and take over other.
I think it was. It was supposed to be
Yeah,
an
it was either an
invasion.
attack or it was an experiment for the furthering of an attack. They were militaristic about it.
Huh?
Yeah. Like the black ooze that you see in Prometheus was a weapon, and that's how you got your xenomorphs. But
In a weird roundabout way.
a weird-
I mean, there's so many extra steps.
yeah. I mean, they added a lot of extra steps with some movies, and I don't know. Some of the fans don't like some of the more. What was the sequel? Alien Covenant. I know that made a bunch of fans really angry.
I liked Covenant better than Prometheus.
I thought Covenant was a fantastic movie.
I liked it.
I liked them both pretty equally. They were both different kinds of movies.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought Covenant was really well done. I was with the fans who were disappointed in the amount of CGI that they used for the Xenomorph. And I was like, I get it. We all love those practical effects.
Yeah.
But I still thought it was a great movie.
Yeah. What did you think about the new life cycle portion in Romulus?
Oh, Romulus. What was the new life cycle?
So after the little chestburster sheds, it goes into a cocoon on the wall.
Oh, yeah. I that wasn't new to me exactly, because if you play some of the video games, that happens in the video games.
Really?
A lot. Yeah, there's a cocoon phase.
I had never even, when I saw that, I was like, okay, time out.
What's this?
Ein Minuta Bitte. Like, I was just like, what is this new thing we're adding in here? That's not how it's, because I thought it was a chestburster and it just continued to shed
Right.
until it got to.
Yeah, and for me, I didn't get upset by it because like I'd played this video game where that happens in the game, and I was like, oh, and I never really thought about it, but
Yeah.
but yeah, to someone who hadn't seen that, they would be like, I can see why you would be upset by that, but it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, I'll live. I've gotten over it. Plus, this is coming from a franchise that where if a facehugger gets onto a rhinoceros, it turns into a rhino xenomorph.
Right.
And so, I mean, there's just so many different things that can happen that, I should lighten up.
Yeah. Every xenomorph is unique. They're
Yeah.
all a unique mutation.
Yeah. So I don't know how long it's been since you've seen Alien 3, but the Facehugger gets on an ox or a dog,
Well, it's depending on which movie you watch.
depending on which cut. Yeah.
I don't
Theatrical
think I've
version,
seen it,
it's
actually.
a Rottweiler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's why the alien runs on all fours and it's tiny.
And it's called a runner.
Yeah. It's because the genetic makeup of the host
Right.
affects what the final alien. So that's why the alien is bipedal in Alien. It's because it
Comes out of a human.
came out of a human, and then it runs on all fours in Alien 3 because it got on a dog.
Sure.
Oh yeah, and in the toy lineup, they went way into left field. There, any
Yeah.
animal you could think of, they made a xenomorph version of it. There was
The Xenomorph T-Rex.
well, they didn't have a T-Rex, but they had one that kind of looked like a T-Rex.
I swear. Yeah.
They had a flying alien queen. This was a queen that got into a bat. So
Yeah.
so this queen alien came out of a bat. So it had these huge wings, but it had these teeny little arms. So it looked a lot like a T-Rex when it had its wings folded, but it was not a T-Rex. Although I think in one of the comic books there is
See, that's-
Dino Xenomorphs.
I think that's what I was thinking.
Which I actually just finished. Now I'm kind of on a tangent, but I just watched this motion comic because I've seen Alien a million times, so I wanted to watch something kind of new. So I watched this motion comic that was Marvel versus Aliens. Have you ever seen that?
I've heard of it. I have not.
It is freaking amazing if you're a nerd.
Yeah.
But the only way I won't spoil too much of the story, but there's a core surrounding of heroes, and they're completely surrounded by xenomorphs, like every movie. We're down to like 4 people left, and then a xenomorph queen saves the day, but it's because it's been taken over by Venom.
No way.
A venomized xenomorph.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and I was like, Venom's my favorite Marvel character. So that was two worlds colliding in the best way possible for me.
Yeah, that was a total win for you. There's no way that you're walking out of that story upset.
I'm like, what kind of eggs is that queen laying?
Yeah. Jeez. Did you ever play the mid 2000s version of Alien versus Predator?
The first person shooter one?
Yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah. There was like 3 of those, and then there's like 3 or 4 of them, I think. But yes, I did.
Yeah.
They were really good.
I think the newest one is the one that I played. There was 2 that came out in the like 90s.
Yeah,
And
and
they're
then
a
there was
little
one that
older.
came out around 2010, something like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yeah, that one's really well
That
done.
one's a
That is
blast.
a very good game.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's another thing that I love with the Xenomorph is you can create all these mutations, and so the games become really fun because there's certain aliens that only exist in the game, and any fan of the Xenomorphs should check them out because you're gonna see something you haven't seen before in any of the movies, like a cocoon.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the Xenomorph duck-billed platypus, and you really can't tell the difference.
Yeah,
It
you
looks
don't want
the same.
that. It's got the venomous claws.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Yeah. There's just so many cool directions you can take it.
So
And the double jaw also quacks.
Yeah.
he's really thinking this through.
Oh, he's got like 10 script ideas probably locked and loaded for Alien franchises.
Yeah, I'll work them out and give them to you. Just give me credit.
Yeah.
So the kind of the last thing I was going to bring up about it was the not the costumes, the spacesuits. I had read that the spacesuits were so thick and bulky and unbreathable that most of the time the actors that were in them were passing out because they couldn't breathe.
Yeah, they didn't really think about practicality over what the look was.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a couple interviews with some of the actors. They had to take head breaks. They'd have to like lay down and like take the whole head off, and so they could breathe.
Right.
And then they would shoot like a 2-minute scene, and then have to like lay back down.
I think they'd have a nurse come in and give them oxygen.
Yeah, I mean
Okay,
those suits look
go.
awful. I mean, they don't look practical in any way. They look like one of those old school deep sea diving suits.
You know what the gloves remind me of? They remind me of the Power Glove, the Nintendo.
Yeah, the old school
Power
power
glove.
glove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we
Yeah,
used to.
when Ripley at the end, when she's climbing into the suit, when she's in the escape vehicle, and she's climbing into the suit, I'm thinking, my gosh, this thing is so friggin' bulky, and the gloves that she puts on is like 3 times the size of her hand, and
They're like hockey
it's like,
gloves.
holy
It's like, how are
mackerel.
you going to be able to manipulate any of the
Right, and then she's
controls?
going to do stuff.
Yeah, and she successfully kicks an alien out of the
Right.
airlock.
Yeah. And another thing I wanted to talk about was something we don't see anymore is that this cast felt like real people. And of course, Sigourney Weaver went on to become a movie star, but the rest of these people weren't really movie stars. They were like Broadway actors and real people, and that's what made it. I mean, just imagine an entire cast of like Timothy Chalamet's and Zendaya's and just all these pretty beautiful people. It wouldn't like Zendaya's a truck driver.
No,
Yeah.
man, nah, I don't believe it.
Yeah, exactly. Timothy Chalamet fighting an alien.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
Now,
out.
this was this Sigourney Weaver's? She hadn't really done much
It
before
was her
this.
breakout role.
Was it?
Yeah, I think that's what definitely set her up to do some of those big movies she did later. You know, like Ghostbusters. and all that.
Ghostbusters, yeah.
I feel like those guys must have thought of her right away. They were like,
Yeah.
"Who wants Sigourney Weaver?"
Yeah.
You know, like,
And of course, Sigourney Weaver went into Cabin in the Woods, which was. Have you seen that one?
yeah, I've seen it. I just didn't remember that she's in that movie.
She's at the very end.
Oh, right. She's like does she get stomped on by a big monster?
No, she gets torn up by a werewolf.
Oh, that's right.
And that's
God,
the
that
only-
movie is so wacky.
That's the only reason she took that role,
So she could get torn
was so
apart
she
by
could
a-
work with the werewolf. Yeah.
Nice. I'm thinking of I'm thinking of Paul. Did you ever watch Paul?
Yeah.
It's another Simon Pegg movie, but she gets killed by like a big landing foot comes down on her, like the spacecraft. It's like tripod landing structure. She
Yeah.
gets
That's
squished.
another one of those movies where she comes in at the end.
Yeah, she's right at the end just to get squished.
Yeah.
But like you hear her voice a lot in the movie. She's
Yeah.
like the evil person
On the
phone.
radio, yeah.
That's cool.
But all the people in this movie, they just look like real.
Yeah.
The guy that plays Brett. Oh gosh, I'm missing his name here.
Harry Dean Stanton.
Harry Dean Stanton.
Yeah.
What he would not be cast in anything today.
Right. They're like, we need a space trucker. That's
He
him.
looks like a he looks like a
probably
mechanic.
was a trucker.
Yeah.
He's got the hair. He's got the hat.
Yeah, the hat. Yeah. Yeah.
That's all it takes, guys. You're a trucker.
Right.
You got the hair. You got the hat.
Get in the truck.
Get in the truck. We're going to space.
Right.
Yeah, they all feel very real. That scene when they're all having dinner right before the alien bursts out, like it just feels like a family dinner. You know,
Yeah.
they're reaching over each other and talking smack and just
Yeah, they wanted it to
BSing
feel
them.
like these were actual coworkers. There was
Well,
arguments.
They're kind of roughnecks.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
weren't they out on like a scavenger type
well, they're
thing?
bringing back
or
a giant rig that's full of minerals. It was
Yeah.
a big mining operation. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, they're just the barge that's bringing it home.
Yeah, and they they fight with each other and they argue, and one of my
Yeah.
favorite scenes is the
They gripe about pay.
yeah,
you know.
exactly, the the bonuses, and there's the part where Harry Dean Stanton's like, yeah, it's going to take 17 hours to fix the ship, and then Yaphet Kotto gets on the intercom, yeah, it's going to take 25 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they're just giving themselves a little leeway there. Like it's a very believable kind of space. I don't know. It's a very believable space trucker kind of thing.
Yeah.
you know? If that sentence makes any sense.
Yeah, and it's something that I've been missing a lot in modern movies, is that everyone that gets cast now is like a model, and it's not real anymore. And I'm kind of
Right.
missing
There's this,
that.
like upper echelon of actors that are constantly getting these roles.
Yeah.
And because Zendaya would not be believable in that role. And there's even Tom Holland wouldn't be very believable either.
Right.
You know? I'm trying to think who's a good space trucker these days. Mel Gibson?
Yeah, yeah, maybe.
A senile Mel Gibson?
Yeah, but
as Santa.
yeah, as Santa, I haven't seen that one yet.
You haven't?
No.
Oh, Fat
What's
Man.
Fat
I
Man?
love it.
It's not bad. I liked it. It's a good Christmas movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But yeah, I think Alien is an incredible movie. It's got one of the greatest, I think probably one of the greatest jump scares of all time, when he gets Dallas
Through that iris.
through the vent. Yeah.
That crazy
and,
iris.
You know, Lambert is just like, he's right behind you, and like just that beeping.
The beeping,
It gets so
yeah, they build up that tension really well.
yeah, and then just
And poor Lambert's like breaking down. She's
a mess in this movie. She is an absolute mess in this movie, and it's so real.
Yeah,
that is
'cause,
such a real.
Someone's definitely gonna have a breakdown,
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like,
These, like we just said, these are not military people.
yeah,
They're not
They're in
trained
it
for
for
any
the
of this,
pay.
right.
You know, they want to be set up when they get home. I mean, like you don't learn this unless you watch the director's cut of the sequel. But Ellen Ripley leaves a 10-year-old daughter at home.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then by the time she gets back to Earth, her daughter has lived her whole life and died at like 67.
Yeah.
Holy
But
mackerel.
she was supposed to be back in 2 years for her 11th birthday and then never saw her again because of what happened in the first film.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Which makes the video game Alien Isolation really cool, because Aliens kills off Amanda Ripley just like that. She's just someone that gets mentioned. And then they
Yeah.
came out with the video game where Amanda Ripley knows her mom is still out there and goes looking for her and runs into an alien herself.
Okay.
And it's so cool.
What are the chances?
Yeah.
The galaxy's not as big as you thought.
Have you played Alien Isolation?
No, that's one of the ones I have not played. I know all about it, though. I know the concept is totally based on the original game. And
Yeah.
it's not an action game. It's a survival game. Where
Yeah,
It's like
so
cat and mouse. Like,
If Alien versus Predator is like playing Aliens,
yeah.
Alien Isolation is like playing Alien.
Nice.
And they even
Yeah.
have an expansion pack where you can play as Ellen Ripley and the ship is the Nostromo.
Nice.
So it's
That
just like
must
a
be
small
fun.
little Easter egg you can play.
Well, I know what I want for Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
The last Alien game I played, it's relatively new. It's called Aliens Fireteam Elite.
I've heard about that. I heard it's fun.
It's more like playing Aliens than AVP is.
Yeah.
Like it's very well done.
It's all about the Space Marines and like teamwork and stuff like that.
Well, there's no Yautja in it at all. It's just Space Marines versus aliens, but they bring in the engineers and stuff. They tie in Prometheus really well.
Oh, that's
And,
cool.
Yeah, it's a really good game, and the graphics are pretty modern, and it's also online, so you can like get a guild of actual
Oh.
or I guess you'd call it a platoon or a squad.
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
And you can go on your own missions with real people, and
That's so
it's
cool.
really fun. And the atmosphere they created is very much like Aliens. They start coming out of the woodwork, and you've got your pulse rifle, and you're just and they also give you this epic arsenal. By the end of the game, you've unlocked missile launchers and flamethrowers, and
that's so
you can
cool.
replay the game with these epic weapons, and it's a little easier.
Oh,
more
that's
fun.
so cool. So, anything else we want to say about Alien before we?
One thing I had read that I thought was absolutely hilarious, and I would have loved to have been there to see this. Coming through customs, they sent over the kind of the initial facehuggers into the U.S., and it got stopped at customs, and they wouldn't let it go.
What is this?
Yeah, exactly. Can you
Some
imagine
kind of
being the customs guy,
biohazard.
and you open up the box?
This giant space spider jumps on your face.
Oh my gosh!
Right.
And that thing was made of all sorts of sheep guts and all sorts. Like when Ash is dissecting it and stuff like that. That's a
Well,
weird.
that's real guts.
Yeah.
Dan O'Bannon had to go to the Los Angeles International Airport and explain what was going on before they could get it.
That's awesome.
Man.
That must have been an epic day at the airport.
Right.
But-
Yeah, so I'm good. You guys have anything else to add to Alien or?
Well, I thought I was really happy in Romulus when they actually extended Big Chap's story.
Yes.
The name of the xenomorph in the Alien movie is called Big Chap.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
really?
And first off, he's the only xenomorph that has a human skull,
Yeah.
you know, and I guess except for the newborn in part 4, if you want
Yeah.
to count that one. But his design is unique to all the other aliens because they utilized an actual human skull behind that jelly sack,
Yeah.
you know, and I always thought that was really cool, and I wondered why they never reimagined it. But fun fact, H.R. Giger, up into his death, he was the artist on all of the Alien movies. He died after the 4th one came out, so after that it wasn't him. But
Yeah.
he chose to change the design himself, and But yeah, in Romulus, it's Big Chap again. Apparently, he went into a cocoon and survived the whole thing.
It didn't kill him.
Yeah, it didn't kill him. And so it was kind of cool to see. And he finally is, I mean, he's dead before the first scene of Romulus, but they see his corpse and he's all like, and I was like, wow, it's nice to figure out what happened to him.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool. And it was also really cool to see the design was still there.
Yeah.
His skull, they still had the human skull right
Right.
there. And
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So, something we've been doing the last 2 episodes that I thought was kind of fun was going through Letterboxd. Do you have a Letterboxd?
Mm-mm.
So it's
What?
like, yeah, it's like
I
a.
don't look at my phone very often.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's a social
Don't
media.
you judge me.
No. I'm not even worried
Well,
about that. I'm still mad about the
I got it.
cocoon.
I got it yesterday, and I have no idea how it works. So
Okay. So it's just
Whatever.
a little social
So I'm
media
not
thing.
that far behind.
Yeah. It's just social media for film people, and people post reviews and
Okay. Yeah,
comment and
I've
stuff.
heard the phrase before. I just didn't really know what it was.
So I just wanted to go through a couple of these reviews. A lot of these are really fun. So we
Are
got
they angry nerds or are they happy nerds?
well, a lot of these are really positive reviews.
Well, that's good.
So we have a 5-star review from Bobby. He says, "Where is all the water coming from, Sir Ridley?
Condensation.
You are on a spaceship. It should not be that wet."
It's condensation from all of the machines.
Yeah.
I picture there might be a swimming pool kind of on the upper deck
Yeah.
also.
In order to keep a nuclear reactor cool, you need a lot of water circulating.
There you go. So Bobby, relax.
Yeah, relax,
we,
Bobby.
We
Bobby.
have answers. 5-star review from Seth Reviews. Oh, there's Binky. Hey, Bink. 5-star review. Letterboxd needs to hurry up and add a 6th star already.
Nice.
So it's
There
5.
you go. He really liked it.
Yeah, 5-star review.
And Bruno, break my phone.
Yeah, 5-star review from Jay the Alien.
Oh, and he's not even from Earth, and he
Oh
liked the
no,
movie.
yeah, it's getting all the way out in space.
Sure.
Where no one can hear you scream. The last scene is exactly what happens when I see a moth in my bedroom.
You just open the airlock and blow him out.
Let it go out into space. 4-star review from Brendan. If an alien burst out of my chest, I would handle it with far more grace and poise.
Stop.
I'd like to see
screaming.
that, Brendan. I'd like to see that.
Exactly. No stars, but I think he forgot to add stars because he says they just don't make movies with this much beeping anymore. Yeah, lots of
And
beeps.
he's,
and
he's
boops.
beep positive. Is
Yeah.
that what we're gathering here?
Yeah. And then second to last one, because there's a personal one I want to read here.
Sure.
This one's a 5-star from James. He says, rewatching this movie from Ash's perspective is so unbelievably cool. Seeing the chess master observe his pawns as they venture out to find the eggs, catching all his intense glances at Kane during the dinner scene, hearing every last manipulative tactic to keep the alien alive, all of which sounds reasonable enough and seem to be in the best interest of everyone. Between his single-minded focus, callous disregard for human life, and admiration for the creature, it truly feels remarkable. So,
I think we got a future terrorist on our hands.
exactly. The dude's an android.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and then the last one I wanted to read was from my little brother, Alec.
Hey, Alec.
Yeah, Alec. Where's he at? I'm going to pull him up. So he's got some fun ones on here. My brother has hilarious reviews for all sorts of movies, but I just wanted to read his Alien one because I think it's kind of inspirational in kind of a...
Are you going to read it tonight?
I'm pulling it up. Give me a second, Dad. It's towards the bottom next to Lobster Hunt in Minecraft.
Oh, yes.
Oh, there it is. Alien. Oh, I lost it. Okay, so he says he gives it 4.5 stars. And he says,
Alec.
what are you doing, Alec? He says, my goal in life is to make a film even half as beautiful as Alien.
Wow. Well,
Oh,
that's
nice.
really nice. But why not 5 stars then?
Well, I'll have to
It's
send.
just,
Yeah.
I mean, nothing's perfect, I guess.
What's your problem?
Yeah. Yeah. So, and Alec's favorite scene, and he actually has a 35 millimeter still, because there's this guy who comes to Boise every winter, and he goes all across the country and finds film reels and cuts little pieces out.
Oh, wow.
And puts them into little frames.
And then sells them.
Yeah. And so Alec has a frame of Ellen Ripley when she's coming out of the stairwell or that ladder, and she just
and she's got
pulls
her hands up.
her nails are all
wet
dirty and
gross.
she's just covered in sweat, and he's like that's the most beautiful shot in the entire movie.
It's really well done. The lighting is incredible. They catch every little bead of sweat on her.
I know, it's beautiful. Oh, before we go,
Who's the little girl in the second one?
Newt.
Yeah, I sent her a message.
Really?
I haven't heard back,
Oh yeah.
but
Well,
it's out there.
Patton-
Newt, in case you're listening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come out at night.
Mostly.
Mostly.
I want to talk about my favorite before we go. My favorite part in the entire movie is after Lambert and Parker get killed, and Ripley comes around the corner and sees them, and she just shudders. There's no screaming. It's just, it's the most realistic thing. Like, it's such a neat scene.
Yeah.
So
I will have to re-examine that scene. That is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't really show too much of the horror.
No.
You see the horror in her face.
yeah, and like you see like little like bits and glimpses. Like
it's obvious they were torn apart.
you
But
see like Parker's arm, like his hand. You don't see much of what's going on.
Yeah, and there's not like a big gory mess.
No, not
it's
at
just
all.
a suggestion of, you know,
It's incredible. So last thing we do on the podcast before we take off is we review this movie.
And then we wrestle.
Yeah. Yeah. We get rid of the table and
Honey, get my coconut oil.
Oh, he knows how this works.
yeah, he's
Nice.
he's done a podcast before.
Slippery little devil.
So Dad, what would you rate this?
Are we letterboxing it?
Let's do
Up to 5?
let's do out of 5 facehuggers.
Okay. So I think I loved the show. I love it every time I watch it. I think it's just so cool. I love the detail in it. And so I would give it 4 facehuggers, but I would throw in a xenomorph duck-billed platypus on top of
that.
Nice.
Great.
And that's worth several faces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's at least 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Emmanuel, what would you give this?
Yeah, I'd give it 5 stars. I think it's a timeless film. You can watch it anytime, and it still achieves what they set out to achieve. And I think a movie like that grows more and more important as CGI takes over the world. You know, it's like crafting that movie, like they built it. You know, and the script, like I said, it's just timeless. They've created characters that you remember and a monster that will never leave your mind. You know?
Right.
And I think that's the core of storytelling.
Yeah.
You know, and so yeah, 5 facehuggers. Yeah.
That's a good point. It's a movie that you are not going to forget.
No.
Yeah.
So I would give this movie 4.5 facehuggers out of 5. And the only reason it doesn't get that last half is because it's not aliens.
Well, you know, that's fine.
So when we do Aliens, we know how you're going to score it.
It's spoiler alert. We already know.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah,
Awesome. So it's a fantastic show.
absolutely. Highly recommend it. All right. Well, Emmanuel, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. This was very fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And thanks for all this high octane grape crush.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So
Now, you may find when you go to the restroom, things are going to be a little purple for a while.
It's okay.
well, it's better than being white milk and your head,
Your head comes off.
popping off. Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah, where do they go to the bathroom in those spacesuits anyway?
yeah, no kidding. All right.
Let's do it.
We ready to head on out of here?
Punch it.
All right.
And we're gone.
This is Tabor Johnson, last survivor of My Dad's Movie podcast, signing off. Hey guys, thanks for listening to My Dad's Movie podcast. We would like to offer a shout out to our very first ever oldest son tier patron, Jared Louder. Thank you very much for subscribing to our Patreon and helping our podcast grow. If you too would like your name shouted out at the end of our episodes, head over to patreon.com, My Dad's Movie Podcast, and sign up for the $5 oldest son tier. And thank you very much.
Thanks for listening to My Dad's Movie Podcast. We had a lot of fun creating it, and we hope you enjoyed it.
For more content, please check us out at Facebook and YouTube at My Dad's Movie Podcast, or visit our website, mydadsmoviepodcast.com.
And always, if you'd like to help support us, please check out our Patreon at My Dad's Movie Podcast.
Thanks for listening, everybody.